today the topic is standard form of a number. You can take down the keynotes. The standard form of a number is the way of representing a given value in the form of a times 10 to the power of n, where a can take a value less than 10 but not less than 1. We can say the value of a can be within this limit, and n the power of 10 takes the value of an integer. It can be positive, negative, or 0. It is also called as scientific notation. Question 1. Write the following values in standard form. We have a 5000. Now to write 5000 in the form of a times 10 to the power n, the value for a should be less than 10. So I take 5 times 10 to the power of, when I take a as 5, the decimal point is here, and which means to get back the number, I have 1, 2, 3 points to move to shift the decimal. So moving to the right, I have to put a plus 3 here. 256, so I have to take 2.56 as my a, because only that is a value which is less than 10, because if I take 25 it's more than 10 too. So my a is 2.56 times 10 to the power of, so this is where I have my decimal now. I have to shift it twice to get back this 256, so it's going to be plus 2. Or you can just write 2.56 times 10 to the power. Here the value for a should be 9.3, which is less than 10. And you can see that from 9.3, now my decimal is here when I took 9.3, and I have to go back 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to go back 4 times to the left. So it's negative 4. This is the answer. Another point that you can remember is that from the value of a, if it's a bigger number that you want to make, for sure your power is going to be positive. And from the value of a here, it's 9.3, and if you want to get a value lesser, your power is going to be negative. Question D. My a should be less than 10, so I'll put the decimal here. It's going to be 1.32 times 10 to the power of, I have to go back 1, 2 to get back the question, so it's going to be minus 2. 6 is already less than 10, so 6 times 10 to the power of 0, and 10 to the power 0 is 1. So this is the way you write it in standard form. Now the last question, F, I will write it as 9.96, which is less than 10 times 10 to the power of, so this is where I have placed my decimal. I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right. So this is my standard form. You can just write 9.96 times 10 to the power 7. Now we'll try to solve some questions from past papers. Question 1. Write 0.0001 as a power of 10. I'll first try to write it in the form a times 10 to the power of n. So here I'll take 1 times 10 to the power of, my decimal is here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, moving backwards, negative 4. Now since they have mentioned you want the answer as a power of 10, you cannot write it like this. You put your answer as 10 to the power of minus 4. This should be your final answer. Question 2. Calculate 4.6 times 10 to the power of 2 multiplied by 6.7 times 10 to the power of 5. Give your answer in standard form. Correct two significant figures. So step 1 will be to multiply these numbers, which is 4.6 times 6.7 multiplied by, you can see 10 to the power of 2 times 10 to the power of 5. We can use the rule of indices where you have a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of n. When you have the same base, you can just add the powers. So here you have 10 as the base and 2 and 5. So it's going to be 2 plus 5. You can calculate this value 4.6 times 6.7 as 30.82 times 10 to the power of 7. This is still not in standard form because this value is not less than 10. I'll write it as 3.082. So if I from here to shift this decimal just once to get back to 30.82, I can just type times 10 to the power of 7. Now the answer here is going to be 3.082 times 10 to the power of 8. Now this is not the final answer because you still have to write your answer in standard form correct to two significant figures. So the two significant figures here, it's 8. So you will have to add a plus 1 here, which makes your answer 3.1 times 10 to the power 8. This is your final answer. Let's solve question 3. Work out 2 times 10 to the power 100 minus 2 times 10 to the power 98, giving your answer in standard form. So here the question says 2 times 10 to the power 100, and here you have 2 times 10 to the power 98. Unlike the previous question, when you have two terms like this, which are in standard form, and it is a subtraction that comes in the middle, you try to factor out terms from them. So I can write 2 times 10 to the power 100, and I have 98 here. So I'll try to write it as 2 times 10 to the power of 98 times 10 to the power of 2. I'm just splitting this 100 into 98 and 2 minus, this is the same minus in the middle, 2 times 10 to the power of 98. Now you can see these are common. So I'll have 2 times 10 to the power of 98 outside the bracket, and inside I will have 10 squared, which is 100, minus, here 2 times 10 to the power 98 is already factored out, so you just have 1. At any point if you feel confused, try to expand the brackets and see if you're getting the same answer as the previous step. So this is going to be 2 times 10 to the power of 98 multiplied by 100 minus 1 is 99. So you have 2 times 99, which is 198 times 10 to the power of 98. Your answer should be in standard form, and here this term is not less than 10. So I will write it as 1.98 times, to get this 198, it's 10 to the power of 2 times 10 to the power of 98. Your final answer is going to be 1.98, adding 2 and 98, you get 10 to the power of 100. This is your final answer. Question 4. Calculate 4.9 times 10 to the power of minus 3 plus 8.1 times 10 to the power of minus 4. Give your answer in standard form. As a step 1, Try to make the powers same for both these terms. I'll keep 4.9 times 10 to the power of minus 3 plus I will change 10 to the power of minus 4 to 10 to the power of minus 3 by shifting this decimal ones to the left. So this is going to be 0.81 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Now you have got the same values here, which is 10 to the power of minus 3. So taking 10 to the power of minus 3 outside the brackets, you will have 4.9 plus 0.81 inside the brackets. Now you can add these terms. Here the sum is going to be 5.71. So your answer in standard form is going to be 5.71, which is the value for A and it's less than 10, times 10 to the power of minus 3.